studies anthropology. Like it's kind of in another epoch they would be the missionaries, kind of do-gooders, but from kind of well-to-do families and kind of and then it, I suppose their experience of graduate school is kind of precarity because that's graduate students become kind of precarious, become semi-proletarian. Um, but then it's temporary. They're basically temporary embarrassed professors. Like even because they already imagine themselves as scholars and professors. But it's like, why does that imagination come from? Like, for example, in my family, no one like my family hates that I work at university because that's like in Spain, that's like the lowest form of prestige. It's like in Spain, it's like in India, you become an engineer or a doctor, otherwise your family doesn't respect you. But I suppose in other circles, it's like professorships are like there's a certain kind of aura attached to it. So there's like this run up of people trying to become professors. And like I don't understand it because in Spain, like in my department, there's one PhD student. There's just no follow ups. No one wants to become a professor. So that guy would definitely have a job. There's no kind of not as many issues there. But
Right. Yeah, like I come from a working class family. Like my neither of my parents went to college and always, never had a lot of money. And when I decided I would seek to become a professor and pursue kind of the academic game, I was quite braced to not succeed. Like it's a difficult career to break into. There's a lot of luck required, and it's just the numbers, the sheer numbers are bad. There just aren't that many openings, and there are tons of PhD students every year. So I was like quite realistic. I was braced to not be successful. I was lucky, and I was actually quite successful. But if I didn't get a job in that, like a permanent tenure track job in academia, if I did not get that, I would have just went on to some other job. Like I would have just figured it out, and I wouldn't have been so butthurt. I don't think. But I think what happens is, as you said, if you're from like an upper class family, in some situations, being a professor is kind of like the lowest rank that you can have without being an embarrassment to your family's social class. And so what happens is like people who come from well-to-do families who they don't want to be a surgeon or they don't want to be a CEO, they don't have that type of drive for whatever reason. For them, it's like academia is kind of like the easiest way that they can have a minimally respectable position without having to like do a lot of really hard work in different domains. And so a lot of those people, they pursue academia, but then when they don't get a successful job or it doesn't turn out how they wanted it to, those I think tend to be some of the people who are the most insanely rabid in the current context of the kind of culture wars around academia. Is that kind of what you're saying?
um, well, that's what you were saying. I mean, I was I don't
Oh,
want
I
to
thought that I was agreeing with you, but
get
feel free to differ however you want.
because I mean, the class composition angle I was looking at was more of, I suppose, the new class relations internal to the academic system. I mean,
Okay.
where you were before is not strictly too relevant in the sense that, like, I mean, this guy from the thread, like, you go to Berkeley. I don't actually know anyone who went to an Ivy League school, so it's also this like foreign world that I had to kind of learn about. But like, someone goes to Berkeley because they know that the people at Berkeley have an easy time. They get a job in academia and law and anything. It's the I say the inside track. And then when it doesn't work out, obviously you're outraged. Like, hey, why is the profession, the academy failing me? People like me. It's like, well, now I mean now it's an issue because even the people at Berkeley have difficulty getting jobs. But structurally, it's been failing everyone else who's like